Welcome to our show School of Life. I'm your host Sonia Dubey Divan, founder and managing partner of Indian School of Image Management, and you know that we meet every day at the same time on 6 p.m. on Instagram Live and bring in every day a new journey, a new speaker who shares about their how what did they learn in School of Life. And today I have with me a really interesting speaker, Richa Mundra. Welcome, Richa.
Hi, how are you?
How are you doing?
I'm good, how are you?
Good, good, good. Hope you're having a great weekend already. It's a great start of the weekend for you.
Yes, yes. My weekend actually started yesterday, so yes.
Oh, wonderful. I, yeah, I actually work on Sundays also, so not a great
Oh,
week.
yeah.
Uh, Welcome, Richa, and I'm going to make a quick introduction about you for our lovely audience who's joining us. So, today we have with us Richa Mundra, and she is a Googler by profession and a content creator by passion. And she loves to create stories, post videos around food and lifestyle. She is passionate, ambitious, and a happy woman, and who loves the idea of being self dependent. So that's Richa for all of you. And Richa, welcome once
Thank you.
again to School
Thank you
of
so
Life.
much.
And Richa, tell me a little
Yeah.
bit. That in School of Life we bring in speakers like yourself to
hmm
share their stories and what how they got inspired, what started that spark to start something new in their career, in their passion, so and follow their passion. So tell us about your journey. What inspired you to become a blogger?
So since like teenage times, I was very passionate about writing. So I was very passionate about curating some lines, and writing about things, etc. And then when Orkut took over, then Facebook, then Instagram, it had always been my journey to actually write about things, be
Right.
it about my pictures or food or wherever I'm going traveling, or even caption to like many of my friends' pictures. So all of those, I really got, positive feedback on everything that, hey, you write really well, hey, you should do something about it, and etc. etc. So that actually inspired me. And then, I saw 2 years earlier, I saw that a lot of bloggers are coming up, and I was like, okay, I can explore this place. And like, why not just, start a new page and write about food for a start, and then see how the
Right.
journey goes. So I
Right.
started with food about 2 years ago, and now I do product reviews, like products which are skincare and which helps me develop my personality. So all of those products or snacks or things like that, restaurant reviews, etc.
Right, right. Wonderful. So that's great. So basically, you are a content writer at heart, right?
Yes.
If
Yeah.
because know a lot of bloggers actually start with, just content is not their main forte or their niche. They actually start with pictures, and that's something that they are great at. But
Yeah.
there are very few who are, and if I remember correctly, and correct me if I'm wrong,
hmm
blogging actually started with writing content. It was
Exactly.
now,
Exactly. Yeah. So yeah,
so it
blogging
was.
actually started with writing, and when I was in engineering, I remember I used to write technical blog post for my college, but that never interested me because that used to have like hundreds of words required, this and that, etc., etc. So I think, okay, this whole blog thing is not my forte. I cannot write, or like I cannot give my 100% to this because that requires a lot of effort. But
Yes.
about 2,500 characters is something that I can manage. So yeah, that
Yes.
is why I started on Instagram.
That's wonderful. And 2,500 characters is also a lot to think about what you're going to write and
Yeah.
in the content. It's an art, I would say that, to put your thoughts together and just
Mm.
in a very nice manner. So that's great. Tell me something, Richard, what are the challenges you must have, because blogging industry is so, you can say, cluttered and so many people are there. So
Yeah.
what are the challenges that you faced? And even as when you were starting out, you must have faced a few challenges. So what were they?
So initially, when I started in Chennai, which is not my hometown. So I belong from Raipur, and I started in a
Okay.
place. Yeah, I started in a place which was completely new to me. So when you start something in a very new place, you do not have any connections. You do not know restaurant owners. You do not know how to deal with PR agencies. So it was a
Right.
complete whole new start for me. And how do you develop yourself when that politics is going on around you? When you have to develop all those connections by yourself? That was a huge, huge challenge for me. And I think about an year, when I completed an year in Chennai blogging, I shifted to Hyderabad for Google. And then
Okay.
again, the challenges started coming in that, okay, now I had established myself in Chennai, but now I have to do it again from a scratch in Hyderabad. So that has basically been my biggest challenge that, I am not at a place where I know a lot of people. So
Right.
yeah, that is how, everything has changed for me.
But you still managed to make a place for yourself online, so that's a great
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah, so
And,
after a few months into this, I realized that it is not about how many people you know in that place. It's about how you're reaching out to people. So if you reach to the people right, and there is no harm, in reaching out to people. So I know a lot of
correct.
Hyderabad bloggers who have been like really warm and welcoming to me. And I actually reached out to them that, I am new to this city. I write this and this content. If you like my content, do call me for collaborations. And they have actually called me for collaborations. So that is how you build connections.
Right, right. That's
Hmm.
wonderful. And yes, you need a very small group of supportive people who can
Correct.
just, lift you up, and that's all
Hmm.
it matters. You're
Yeah.
really, really small and really strong group of support system.
Hmm.
Tell me, you are also doing a full-time job. You also have a full-time job,
Yeah.
and you are. So how do you manage these two things? Because blogging is a big-time commitment.
Yeah. So basically, I've always written content in and around what is happening in my life. So if I'm eating food in my office, that is also content if you present it right. If I'm going out with my friends, that is also content. If I'm writing about mental health on a mental health day, that is also content. So I
Right.
have established my circle in such a way that now I don't have to, actually sit down and think for content. It's just like, okay, oh yeah, I could have done this. No, I'll write about this now. So it's
Wow.
like that now. And plus,
Right.
I have like a very strong support system, both like from my family and from my friends. And now they give me content ideas that, hey, hello, this picture is looking good. Why aren't you posting it? And, why aren't you doing this? Why aren't you posting such a picture? Why aren't you just writing about this? Let's go for a trip. You'll have a lot of content there. So all of
Right.
that is happening. So I don't look out for content. I just, live my life, and there is where I get content.
That's
Coming to
interesting.
my job, my manager knows that I am into this profession. So it's it's very important to be open with them. Like, if I have an event someday and I have some important meetings to attend, so I try and balance it that, can you shift the meetings to morning so that evening I can go for this event. And you
Right.
have to give your 100% on both the places, and everything gets managed.
Wonderful, wonderful.
Yeah.
So there is a possibility for all the people who are working and having a full-time job, and they are finding it as an excuse to not follow their passion. I think they can manage.
Definitely they can.
That's the summary of this, that it
Yeah,
is
they
doable.
can.
And the thing about it is that they need to be honest with the people that they are
Yes.
working.
Yeah, they need to be
That's great.
honest with the people, and they need to be honest with the work. Like, you cannot
Absolutely.
make an excuse that, you had events for 5 days of the week and that's why you didn't do your office work. That's not acceptable. Office is paying you.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's very interesting what you said, Richa, that even when you're having lunch, that's content. Like, I never
Yeah.
thought about it that way. So I think that's totally a person who actually is into content can think about that having lunch in
Yeah.
office is also content. Because for me, it's like, really, there is content over there.
Yeah, it is.
That's interesting. That's interesting. You also have your YouTube channel, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So did you start it recently, and do you like manage it totally yourself, or have you like outsourced something? How does it work?
So I started my YouTube channel about a month ago. So it started on 19th April this year. So it's been a
Yay!
month or so. Yeah. And yeah, I manage it completely by myself. Luckily, I am in lockdown, so I'm at home. So I have my sister
Yeah.
and family to help me with shoot, to tell me this is going off, that is there, to help me do
Right.
challenges and everything. But editing, the point that you mentioned in my introduction that I like being self-dependent. So I did try out. I did post stories that I'm looking for some editors, who can help me edit. But
Right.
somehow I didn't have that much of confidence to give my videos to them. That okay,
Okay.
okay, go ahead, edit it. It's like
Right.
whenever you're creating a content, you have that perspective in your mind that this should come out this way,
Correct.
and you cannot explain that perspective to someone. And in the
True.
creative life, everyone has a different perspective of looking at things. So what you are thinking and what the output will be will be completely different. So
Very
yeah,
true.
I am learning editing on weekends, and then I'm doing editing by myself right now. So it's full time, from marketing to editing to content. Everything is on me right now.
That's awesome. So you're constantly learning, you are managing a blog, you have started a new platform, and you're doing a
Yeah.
full-time job. Wow.
Yeah.
That's like maybe you're giving a FOMO to a lot of people that, okay,
Oh, no, no, no. It's just that content was always my passion. So, I do not have any other hobby beyond this. So, if you ask me to like paint, sketch, cook, I will not be able to do such things. So, it's just two of these, my job and my
that's
content. So, I'm happy here.
that's awesome.
Yeah.
And you also are in your profession, you are a data analyst at Google,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Does it give you any extra edge over other bloggers that you get to know something and analyze the data in a better manner about your own blog or some secret over
So,
there?
Um, yeah, I could actually share some tips, but when you say that, it does not give me an edge over other bloggers, because for that I
Right.
have to crack the Instagram algorithm, and that is not somewhere where I am right now. So it does
Right.
not, definitely does not give me that. But yeah, being a data analyst has given me an excitement to see the insights that Instagram gives you. And trust me, Instagram gives you a lot of insights, from when your consumers are active, to what times you should post, to how many reach you're having, etc., etc., everything. And being a data analyst also has changed me into looking at the reach and impressions of a post more than the likes and comments that it got.
Right.
So so yeah, so that has definitely changed my perspective to look at the data which is near me. But it does not give me an edge over other bloggers. It definitely gives me an edge to know my consumers a little more well. So I know that
Okay.
on this day they will be more active at this time, and on this day they'll be more active at that time. So I schedule my post according to that. And then it's
Okay.
experiment, hit and trial, that okay, this is working, this is not working.
Great, great. And now that
Yeah.
you mentioned, right, there are a lot of people who are watching are also having their own pages. So,
Yeah.
from a data analyst perspective and also the insight perspective, can you
Hmm.
share some tips, some helpful things that can help them in reading the insights better and just
Yeah.
taking out some information? So, what they should do, what are the things that they should keep in mind, and some insights on how to read Instagram better.
Okay, so for one, if you are a creator, please create an creator account. And if you are a business, if you're a small business on Instagram, please create a business account. Those are two different things. Secondly, go to your insights and do read them. Apart from watching how many people followed you and unfollowed you, do read, just scroll down, and there are a lot of other things that you can read on it. There
Okay.
are things like day and hour. So if you click on that, it will tell you based on your last week's data on what day and what hour of that day were your most followers active.
Right.
Use that. So if it says that on a Saturday at 4 p.m., most of your followers were active, post according to, according to that, like post around 3:30, 3:45. So at 4 p.m., when you get your peak traffic, you have the post ready there. So, do
Right.
that. Secondly, do engage with everyone. Like, do comment. If someone's commenting on your post, and if you like their content, please comment on their post as well. It will increase your visibility. Engage with them in your own comments. If someone is asking you a question, please reply to them. Don't leave it blank there. If somebody
Right.
is DMing you, you should know all your details. So from the top you're wearing to the plates that you have, you should know all the details that you're doing. So
Okay.
yeah, I have received like random questions. So I create like random stories at home, and if you see, there's a chair behind me. You have
Right.
no
Yes.
idea how many questions I've been asked on where that chair is from and what's the price of it. And I'm like, I never realized that this is something that you'll ask me questions on. Yeah, but those are the questions that the consumers want to know. Like at
Right.
lockdown, everyone is searching for a comfortable chair to sit and work at home. So it
Right.
might
Right.
be possible that this thing that you're showing is very comfortable
Right.
for them, they can see it. So you should have all details. So that is
Wow.
what I have learned like around this time.
Wow. So a lot of things to keep in mind and to read and invest more time into.
Yeah, yeah.
And that's great. Tell me, how's your journey been so far as a blogger, and like the brands that you have worked with, and how's the journey so far as blogger?
Okay. So when I initially started, it was that excitement of the glamour, when you click 1,000 followers. It was like, oh,
Right.
now all the brands will come to you and then everything fancy will start happening. That does not
Right.
happen. To be very frank, it does not happen.
Right.
There are a lot of PR agencies, there are a lot of politics that goes in, and there are a lot of other things. So the journey with brands, with whatever brands I have collaborated with, has been super amazing. Like they give you a leverage of their brand, the image that the brand holds, but they also give you the space to create your own content around it. So if a
Right.
brand
Right.
asks and comes and tells 10 beauty bloggers that you have to portray your lipstick in this manner, the
Right.
users will not like it after the second post. They'll be like, okay, it's duplicate. So
Yeah.
I love working with those brands, who gives me space that okay, this is the product. If you like it,
Right.
create your own visualization according to it. So
Correct.
fortunately, I have worked with all those brands and I'm very happy there.
It's
Yeah,
awesome.
so that journey has been really nice. But there's one thing that I believe in, that even if brands do not collaborate with you, your content should be there. Like
Right.
when you started, there was no brand collaboration. Still, you were very passionate about creating content. So when you've
Right.
reached a certain mark, even if then the brand is not collaborating with you, your content should be there. There are still users seeing you for something.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah, and there is a reason that those initial followers actually followed you.
Yeah, those are the
So
most loyal ones.
yeah, and you'll end up disappointing them if you don't
Yeah, exactly.
stop
Yeah.
content. So you
Yeah.
need to retain also and keep them happy. Very true,
Definitely.
actually. And I've seen this that a lot of bloggers start really with amazing content, amazing stuff, and then slowly they just lose the essence of what their blog has been, and it
Yeah.
all becomes only collaboration
Branded
and
content.
collaboration. Yes, and
Yeah.
branded content. So very well said, actually, that what you started out, you need to maintain that consistency that sets you apart. So
Yeah.
great, great advice on that. Richard, tell me one aha moment. I'm sure there is a lot of aha moments, but tell me one aha moment that just really stood out for you.
Um, okay, so I have one. This happened to me in office. I was just taking my coffee from the barista in office, and there this girl approaches me, and she's like, "Hey, I have seen you somewhere on Instagram." And I'm like, okay. I was just like, okay, because in Google many people know that I am on Instagram. So I was not very like hard by that person. I was like, yeah, okay, yeah, nice. Thank you so much for following me. And that was it. Then I was talking to her, and then I realized that she joined office just 2 days ago. So she has actually been following me from 7, 8 months, and she had actually searched and found me. So that was like, oh, that was like an aha moment for me. I'm like, oh, now this makes sense. That I'm actually
This,
reaching people and someone is actually recognizing me.
that's awesome. That would be a
Yeah.
really happy moment
Yeah,
that,
that
okay,
was
someone is making the effort.
yeah, that was like all efforts and all dreams have come true. I have one fan. That's it. That's what I wanted.
That's true. And these actually small moments give us the assurance that we are on the right path and
Yeah,
we are doing
yeah,
the right thing.
definitely.
And that
Definitely.
brings us so much satisfaction and yeah,
Yeah,
motivate us to do the right thing.
definitely.
That's wonderful. Now, Richa, I don't know if I told you about this, but I do rapid fire with all my speakers.
Oh, nice.
Thanks. Okay. I keep getting different reactions from all the speakers. So nice, is a good reaction because everyone, oh, you never told me this.
So,
So,
a rapid fire, everyone wants to be on Coffee with Karan, right? Rapid fire is everyone's dream always.
you just have to have rapid fire with me to get
Yeah.
rapid fire with
That's also a good thing.
Okay, wonderful. So let's get started. Brace
Sure.
yourself. And question, I'm
Yeah.
just going to be asking you like five or six of them, but your first question is here. So, if you have to pick between food blogging or travel blogging, which one would you pick?
How would one go without the other? Like you have to travel for food and you have to eat food when you travel.
Wow, so smart. Spoken like a true content person.
Yeah, that's true.
Yes, yes, very, very well answered. I think I agree with you. Okay, your favorite travel destination, and I'm sure this will be where there is good food also, knowing your first
Oh,
answer.
actually, I have been to a lot of places, but I think my favorite travel destination would be Vietnam. It's not for the food that I got there, but because it
Okay.
was the first trip that I sponsored myself, and I went with my friends, and it was just the first trip that I sponsored out of my pocket. So that
Wow.
that trip has always been special. Yeah,
I can imagine. Yes,
yeah.
that's true. And third question, your favorite influencer.
Oh, there are a lot. There are a lot. So, in the content category, I think I love Anam C. So, Anam Chashmawala, she does amazing job. Then there's Sejal. Then there's Mostly Sane. There's Beer Biceps. And the list goes on. Like, there's so many.
But one person who stands out the most for you. One
It's Anam.
influencer.
Anam.
I mean,
I am a
okay.
huge fan, yeah.
That's awesome. And I hope she will someday stumble upon this thing and, this particular content.
I've already spoken to her and I've already told her this that I'm a huge,
Wow,
huge fan of yours.
that's awesome.
Yeah.
Next question is three dream brand collaborations that you wish for.
Oh, three dream brand collaborations that I wish for. Okay, one is London Dairy.
Okay.
I Second is Cadbury. Like
Okay.
if Cadbury someday collaborates with me, I would be the happiest person on the planet. And I think third would be Mac.
Mac.
So
Okay.
yeah, these three.
So I figured something out just now with your answer that I think you have a sweet tooth.
I have definitely.
Because with your answer, both the things are more on the sweet side and
Yeah,
no sweet. So
definitely.
yeah. All right. Between the two, now we are going more on the technical. So between the two apps, YouTube or Instagram, which one is your favorite go-to app?
Instagram. For YouTube, you need a lot more patience and a lot more time. Instagram
That's
is
true.
pretty quick, yeah,
And photos with filter or without filter?
without filter. Like,
And
without filter.
favorite Indian?
Favorite Indian cuisine?
Yes.
Pulao, curry pulao.
Okay, that's food, but it's all
Yeah,
favorite
I don't know.
Indian,
I've never thought of Indian cuisine like Indian.
like different regions. Talking about like
Okay,
if you have to pick up.
regional. I don't know. For breakfast, South Indian. For lunch, North Indian. For dinner, khichdi.
So really Indian food you like. You're not restricting your
No,
any.
how can a food blogger restrict herself from food?
Absolutely. Wonderful. People love it, I guess. And that's the end of our rapid fire questions. So good job, actually. And the first
Thank you.
question only was I didn't had a hamper for you, but you won it.
Thanks.
So that was lovely interacting with you, Richa. And this is the last part or the last question is something that I ask all my speakers who come to the show. And after knowing their journey and even they themselves summarizing what they have, their entire journey and the challenges that they have gone through. If you have to think about it and just complete this statement of success comes to those who, how would you complete it?
Um, okay, so it comes to those who wait for it. So, how, so this I have heard and I have like really been inspired by this quote. A snowball takes a lot of time to actually become that huge that it starts falling.
Correct.
And your snowball effect would be just there if you stop doing it. So, you might be just there and your snowball effect will come. But if you just stop doing it, it will not come.
Wow, that's
Yeah.
so actually very deep. Do you want to repeat that once again for the audience? I think that's just so beautiful that you should. And content. I'm just getting so much of content and these liners that you're coming up with. Amazing. So just read that once again for everyone.
So success comes to those, who wait for it. And there's a snowball effect where, the snow takes a lot of time to actually form and then fall
Right.
and then roll down the mountain. So
Right.
your snowball effect would be just there when you're getting that huge that you'll start, you're just at that peak moment of yours. But if you stop doing that and if you just, go away, it'll just not happen. So just wait for
Awesome.
it.
Awesome. Awesome. Very well said. And I can see in the quotes also everyone is loving it. Like, wow, nice quote and very well said. And very meaningful thought that you said. And I think even your journey summarizes this pretty well that, you have to just wait for it and let things
Yeah.
happen. Very interesting and really thoughtful. Thank you so much, Richa, for,
Thank you.
coming on that show today and spending time with us and talking to
Thank
us.
you.
It was a pleasure to have you. And yes, you're getting such awesome comments from the they're like doing good. And one day I'll take a selfie with you. That's
I don't know. Is that for me or is that for you?
oh, that's for you. She's taken a selfie with me already, so I think that's for you.
Okay.
All right, that's very totally for you, and all these, everyone who's here are actually really loving what they have been, what you have said today, and what you have contributed. So great and pleasure to have you here with us on
Thank you
School
so
of Life,
much.
sharing your story.
Thank you so much for having me.
All right, and before you go, if you want to just give already given that one, really good piece of advice, but one more thing, if you want to give people in this lockdown, what would you say to them?
Oh, be patient. It'll pass. Yeah.
So everything comes to just waiting and be patient.
Yeah, that's
That's
all
the
it is.
wonderful.
That's the mantra.
Thank you so much, Richa. That was
Thank you.
wonderful. And I'm sure, yes, we have to just wait it out. This shall
Yeah.
pass.
Yeah, it will.
So great. And thank you to the audience also. So for listening, for coming in and tuning in today and listening to the wonderful story of Richa Mundra. If you enjoyed this video, do give it a thumbs up. Also, subscribe to our channel Indian School of Image Management on YouTube. You can also click the bell icon and get notification for our latest videos.